Chris, man, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. All right,
Series.
it's not just one series of questions. First question, man. Left or right?
Right.
East or west?
East.
This way or that way?
This way.
This is the way. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
That's how you started off, though.
That's how you guys started off, because today we're going to be talking about the Mandalorian, bro. Season 3. It's been a minute since we done talked about it. A lot of stuff has been dropping, so like, you know, we didn't get the initial release date, but we're here now, like 3 episodes in. But before we get into it, man, welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show with me, your boy G, and the homie ChrisyLite. This is episode 89, 108 from 90. We getting close to the 100 ball. We getting close. But Chris, man, like, first impressions of like the season, I guess, because we're a couple episodes in, so we won't get directly into what just happened right away. But I just want to know your initial takeaways from it so far.
I think you're more of a Mando fan than me, but I think this season's
Exactly.
pretty good.
Yeah.
For some reason, they are definitely slowing it down and giving you good action scenes while slowly building up to something bigger. So
Hmm.
while it's not like out the gate, like amazing, spectacular, it definitely feels like they have exactly what they want to do. It seems like season 3, they're not really trying to find their rhythm. They know what story they're trying to tell. And it seems like they're, hiding some good nuggets while also giving us good scenes that don't make you too bored. So
Mm,
overall, I think for 3 episodes into season 3, this is shaping out really good. I'm
yeah.
expecting big reveals coming up this season.
Mm,
And to be honest, I'm waiting for episode 4 this week.
yeah. Yeah. Um, I definitely agree. I think it's going to be hard to top like season two's opening, because that joint was crazy. Like, because the whole thing about the Mandalorian so far, um, prior to last season, was it was about the spectacle. It was about the scene. It was about to see like, how does Mandalorian do what he do, you know? And with the addition of Grogu, things have changed, and we got through Grogu's storyline in the last season, and now we're refocusing things back on Din Djarin. So for me, I think it opened up great because we getting straight to business. Like, the mission from day one is to get redeemed, essentially, and it's a mission that would seemingly be impossible, but you know, as we come to find out, not only is Mandalore not poisonous, but they have access to the mines where he needs to go to bathe in the waters of the Wop. I forgot the name of it, but y'all get the point. So, yeah, I mean, for me, like, this initial season, like, as far as expectations, because we got the whole like Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka cameos in the last season. I would, and based on like the how the season ended, with him having this new mission to, you know, get redeemed or whatever, it was just like, okay, like, I know where we're going, right? But I wasn't really expecting like this super action spectacle. Like, I figure like Mandalorian's always gonna have his moments, but he's never been the type to just like seek out violence. You know, it's just like whatever is necessary type beat. So, um, with this season starting out in the way that, you know, we got like 2 different storylines. Um, one focusing on Din going and, you know, figuring out a way to get to Mandalore and things like that, and then also the New Republic. It was more so like, okay, I feel like we're finally, like you said, like getting in that groove of telling the story they want to tell. And it's still, to me, more of a mystery because of the whole timeline thing of where we're set in the Star Wars mythos. But it's definitely a good start. It's definitely a good start. Um,
So I ended up finding out it's 9 years after
mhm,
um the end of uh
Star Wars,
New Jedi. What is it? A New Jedi?
The Return of
A
the
New Hope?
Jedi or New Hope or whatever.
Return
I
of
don't.
the Jedi, right?
Yeah, it's got to be because
Yeah.
when
After Empire, Return of the Jedi. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
because the old
So
movies it's always like the movie the way they title the movies is not what actually happens. It's what happens after that essentially.
yeah, technically.
So like it's I just always forget like
Yeah,
it's
that's a
always
good way of putting
confusing.
it.
Yeah, but um yeah. So what do you think of the like of just like the mission in general? Like
I mean the him getting redeemed in the waters.
yeah, like did you like going back to Mandalore? Like what were you kind of expecting? Because it was
I mean,
kind of
I think
easy.
on episode two,
Seemed
the
easy.
whole reveal of the what was it, Mythosaur?
Yeah.
I think.
Hmm.
I think that's definitely them leading up to somehow Mando is like the chosen
Hmm.
um
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian to
Yeah.
lead them back, you know? Like
Hmm.
there's some type of symbolism there because she even was her name Bo Katan?
Bo Katan, yeah.
She even said like, uh did you see anything in the water? Because she like probably knows that means something like very important that
Hmm.
a mythosaur dragged him down, and then he's also the one who holds the dark saber.
Right.
Um, and it just kind of makes you wonder: is this like season three going to be a little bit of their relationship and what's going to happen? Is she going to take advantage of that to kind of reclaim uh,
The throne.
everyone under her,
Hmm.
or and they're gonna ultimately end up fighting each other for it? Because
Right.
Mando doesn't seem like the type that actually wants to lead type thing.
Hmm.
He just wants to be, uh,
Dad.
yeah, he just wants to be a Mandalorian for real. He just wants to live by it. It's like
Yeah.
his whole livelihood. And Boca is like starting to feel some type of way after getting redeemed herself
Hmm.
and being accepted a little bit, but it just makes you think she's gonna go down the same path that messed up Mandalore in the first place.
Yeah.
And definitely in this episode, we got a completely weird New Republic scene, but it sort of looks like they're leaning towards um how Palpatine still remained. And
Hmm.
it just seems like the dude had to deal with some cloning technology, and I think
Hmm.
they're gonna try to link more of um how we got to the end of the entire Star Wars saga, the ending
Hmm.
of it. How did Palpatine end up living? How did he kill himself? How does he have these force powers? Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Or pretty much how is he still around?
Right.
So
I'm
it seems like I think we're gonna get big reveals, and Boca versus Mando is probably the end of the season.
right. Like to me, um, speaking of Palpatine and them, it's more of like I'm waiting to see where Snoke becomes a thing, right?
Yeah, that's
Because
true. Yeah,
essentially, like that was supposed to be right the new host or whatever.
yeah,
Um,
Palpatine's clone.
hmm So like that definitely could be a thing. But also like just how this is like kind of like Star Wars, like one of the key things is always like about redemption, right? So we see a lot of that, um, not only in this story but just in general. Like they're always trying to fix something that they broke, essentially, right? Whether um, it's this where to save somebody or not necessarily save somebody, but when you make a connection with Groku, you show him your face, you done did all this stuff, you to for the greater good, even though it was against your religion or whatever, and now you are redeemed because you bathed in the waters, stuff like that. Or it's Bo-Katan who wants to not only reclaim the throne, but possibly wants to get revenge for what happened to Mandalore because she was actually there, right? Versus Din, who was off world, close, but just never really had that experience. Um, and it's like a lot of those sentiments, to me, run through like the essence of like what Star Wars really is, and that's just connection, because I really I really want to see what the Mandalorian is supposed to be, because it's like he's this figure, like he's like almost like a myth, right? Like he's this figure that has the dark saber, but the dark saber don't really rock with him like that. Like it takes a lot for him to a lot of strength for him to even fight with it. Versus like when you see Bo Katan use it, it's just like a light feather. Um, and we see all these different moments where things just always happen to go the right way. Like it works out for him. So there's definitely something there to where it's like, okay, in the greater scheme of Star Wars and the universe, this guy means something, you know. And I'm still trying to figure that out, especially with the fact that Grogu's not going to be training with Luke Skywalker. Um, what happens to Grogu? Like, there's so many questions that I still have about it. Um, and then we still have, like you said, like the New Republic side with the introduction of the two subordinates of Moff Gideon. One that is already rehabilitated. One was a scientist, and the other one was a communications officer, which is basically a spy, right? So you can already tell they work on both sides of it, and there's so many things that I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Like, what is actually happening? What is the true goal and the true North Star? And I feel like for the Mandalorian side of things is an easier thing to grasp because we got the thing known as the mythosaur, right? So that means obviously um, Boba Fett is going to have to make his return at some point this season. Um, and I don't know if that means that, Bo Katan will try to take the dark saber again because she already lost. Like I feel like her trying to use that to unite the people, that time is already passed. But she could definitely like try it another way this time, which could be through the whole religion thing. So
Yeah,
like,
I just think it's kind of like because they were in like the living waters, and
hmm
when Mando was the one bathing in it, the mythosaur dragged him down.
right.
But she's the one who like saw it, so I'm
hmm
feeling like she's gonna just take advantage of that experience of actually seeing something that, because she's not really like one of the,
True
she's not
believers.
a real believer like
Yeah.
Mando is. Like Mando lives by the creed and she
hmm
doesn't, because she was part of what's it called?
The
Uh,
the
Dang, man, Star Wars
I know.
knowledge just fades when you don't be watching it every time. But yeah, you know, anyone who knows her story,
Right.
she really isn't like Mando with being 100% with the creed.
Right.
And I just feel like
Her
I
family
don't even
wasn't.
know. Yeah, I don't even know that much on Mandalorians and stuff and their
I can't believe
history,
I
but
can't think of it. Death
because like the
Watch.
Mythosaur, Death Watch, that's what it is.
Death Watch. Yeah.
Because like the Mythosaur is like literally like their logos and stuff, and I
hmm
think in season one they talk about the original Mandalorians used to ride them or something like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like one of those two figures. Like you have the creature that presents yourself that's like a myth, and then you have the mythical blade that's always with the leader.
hmm
So it just seems like Boka's, while she's on Mando's side right now,
Yeah.
it just seems like we're gonna get to the point where she wants to reclaim everything and say, "I saw this beast. I have the sword." Blah blah blah.
hmm
And Mando is really the actual one who what was the real chosen person. But Mando is not about doing all that. He just wants to be a Mandalorian. He wants
Yeah.
to be with his son Grogu, and he just wants to live the way of a Mandalorian. So I feel like after these three episodes, I understand where they're going,
Yeah.
and I just think they're gonna try to fill some holes left by the latest trilogy. Just because that one episode three, it just had a lot of stuff where I'm like, dang, I don't even feel like we're watching Mando anymore. Is this like
hmm
a extra episode of
Andor.
Andor. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So something about it was it felt totally different where they were just planting stuff, planting, and
Hmm.
maybe it doesn't pay off this season, but it just seems like, you know what? This is set up for something that's probably just gonna iron out some explanation on some stuff that they rushed in a movie here or there. And I
Yeah.
think you said it perfectly. Snoke.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta have an explanation of Snoke
Hmm.
because that was just a big thing. And if they can slowly ease that with a show like Mando or
Yeah.
Andor or whatever, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. I even think like Moff Gideon would be something that we could definitely see in this season, just because we already seen two of his people, and it's like the odds of it, and we seen the job that he had. He used to be a scientist. Now he's basically just deconstructing Empire technology, essentially. Like, and that's their job, and that's what the goal of like reintegrating these people into society essentially is to take out the old and in with the new. But if we look at it from like the communications officer side of like, okay, let me just see where he at mentally, because they didn't have to um call him over, ask him for a drink and stuff like that, or like, what's your favorite thing you missed? Like, it's like little things like that. It just has me thinking like there's something more that we're not seeing other than like her being a collaborator.
Yeah, yeah, like just like
Like,
Seeds of the Empire still being in the New
yeah.
Republic, and like you
Mm-hmm.
never actually know when if you're dealing with the good guys or the bad guys, and at the end of the day, you don't know if you the scientist,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're doing is helping the good side or the bad side because they even
Yeah.
highlight in this episode that the work that they thought they were doing was good
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't.
Right.
But it's like, oh, that wasn't our fault. Like we didn't know, and
Mm-hmm.
even today, you didn't even know that that person was a spy, but it's like, is it good? What they say? It's a mind flare, and it's like, oh no, not on low frequencies, and then they
Yeah.
turn that thing up. I was
Nah,
like,
she turned it
just
up. She
yeah,
turned
yeah,
it up.
she
The
turned it
other
up. But it's
youngin,
like the same thing.
yeah.
Like,
That's why she double agent, bro. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, um, and that's the reason why I feel like this season feels so much different already, because it's more so looking at the political and like societal sides of things, because we got um the mayor who mayor of the one city, I forgot the name of it, but
mhm,
uh he's basically like reestablishing them as like, okay, we want to be a good trade port and not have pirates just running amok like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You could be the sheriff, and the other shorty that was a sheriff, now she got a bigger job. So it's like there's people are slowly but surely coming out of the era of like, fear, and um the era of the empire, and trying to do something for the greater good of the people that they see every day type beat. And regardless of the fact like of how that the empire, former empire people feel, of like, damn, I feel like I know this is a good thing, I just need to get this and that, and we can use it for good, like, just because you only know what you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's an interesting concept that I'm excited to learn more about. And it's for me, I'm still trying to figure out like what what is Grogu going to do now, other than just being with, like, what do we do with that storyline now? Because right now it's two clear ones: New Empire, or New Republic, and Mandalorians going back to Mandalore essentially. Those are the two main storylines right now. But Grogu is in the middle, where he doesn't really talk to us. Like, we can't understand him. They can understand him, but he already said no to the Jedi. He won't really be a Mandalorian. And he's kind of just sitting in his little pod. So like, what do you think about Grogu in that aspect, and like what do you kind of expect?
Yeah, I just feel like the last season we kind of learned that Grogu does not want to be a Jedi.
Hmm.
Like, well, he has all his powers and stuff like that. He really just wants to be with Mando, and
Yeah.
like Mando wants to raise him up to be like a Mandalorian, or at least learn the ways of like the Creed and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
And Grogu just wants to follow. So it's a lot of this season. Probably we're gonna get is what it season three. What does it mean to be a Mandalorian
Right.
overall? What does it mean being good, being bad? What do they believe in? What do they follow?
Hmm.
And like you said, that's why we got that whole redemption arc starting in season two, but it finalizes and finishes quickly this season. But
Right.
now that he's redeemed, it's kind of like, what does this mean? Like, what going forward from day one after you've been redeemed, what do you do with your life as a Mandalorian? And I just
Yeah.
think Grogu's just gonna follow him like that, learn from it, and maybe one day we'll get a
Mandalorian
real
that can use the Force.
yeah, like a real storyline on what is
Yeah.
Grogu's purpose? Because when we saw in season one, or end of season one to season two, we were like, oh,
Hmm.
he's gonna be trained to be a Jedi. Where does he appear in the next stuff or new
Right.
movies? We know he doesn't appear in the latest saga. So,
Hmm.
this season starting off, it just very much that he's gonna be raised uh in the Mandalorian way. He's gonna learn all about their culture. Technically, Mando's learning about all their culture also for the first
Right.
time because
Right.
he doesn't know half the stuff anyway.
Hmm. Like as far as
But
like actually living there and stuff.
yeah, living there, what it actually means. Like he didn't even know
Hmm.
what they ate.
Right.
So it's just kind of like them both of them learning the culture of Mandalorians, Mandalore. And like I said, the mythosaur is just right there. It's like
That's the final
what is the
boss.
meaning? Yeah, what is the meaning for this and all that? And
Yeah. But it's like Din didn't even see the mythosaur. He
they
didn't even
didn't.
realize huh?
They didn't.
Yeah. He didn't even realize like he got taken down by it. Like he said, "Oh,
Exactly.
I just thought I didn't realize how deep it was." But he got
Mhm.
snatched up though, you know? And I think it says more to the fact that um it says more to me the fact that Bo Katan was actually got to look at it and then look back and didn't do anything. It says more to me about that than anything because it's just like it was probably just attacking just for the sake of like, oh, something in here, and he realized type because he let him go, he could have ate him, but he let him go. So there's there's definitely something to that. As far as like what they're gonna learn, I think it'd be cool to get like a whole like Avatar training arc type beat where they learn the ways of the Mandalorian more
Yeah,
so
exactly.
from like not more than just a creed, right? But also just like what it means to be in community again. Because you can tell like without even seeing Bo-Katan's face like that, her getting accepted and getting little pats on the shoulder and stuff that meant something to her. Um, Now I don't see the vitriol that you see as far as like she finna take over. Like I don't see that yet. I don't see that yet. I feel like she's kind of past that. I think it's more likely she'll go on a revenge tour as far as like who blew up her crib.
Yeah, it was like
Um,
Gideon in them.
yeah, I think that's more likely. But you know, if we get to see Grogu grow up in that way at least a little bit, or like just move around, because anything Grogu does is lit. But like the fact that he's so young and he's gonna be young for a long time, he's kind of like an anomaly of the situation. And he kind of just be there type beat. Um, so yeah, I think I think we're in for a treat, but I don't know. I don't know. We're only 3 episodes in, y'all. So these are just our thoughts as of right now. Um, but as things will go on, we'll definitely talk more and more about it. But do you got anything else for it? I mean, I don't feel like I got anything.
I mean, definitely much more actiony for
Yeah.
the first three episodes. I was quite surprised. Even the in the last episode, there was that not really a trench run, but a
Hmm.
uh,
Dogfight.
dogfight scenes, which
Yeah.
was really good because I just sat there and watched like, dang, this is a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is some good stuff for a TV show.
Yeah.
And it was just right after the scene, the episode 2, we get a little conclusion on the end of that, and then boom,
Mm-hmm.
this big scene that kind of felt like you'd feel in finales,
Yeah.
but we just get it, and I'm just all for it. Star Wars just feels very Star Warsy when we just go straight to starfighter scenes and
Mm-hmm.
dog fights and more Tie fighters, and
Yeah. And I
it's
love
just great Star Wars.
Yeah, and I love the way that like they'll say like go to these coordinates and you don't know where they're going. And it's just like they
Yeah,
just cut to a whole different part. I'm like, oh, where'd it go? Like you gotta wait to the end
it
to
just
find out. It's
kills
so
me.
good. It's so good.
It just kills me like how they say it so calmly and they're running away from like 50 TIE fighters all the
Yeah.
time and they can't hit
I
nothing. I'm
I
like,
had to run it back a couple of times because I had to watch that. I watched that scene multiple times because that don't was
yeah.
clean. Um, but I think it was real petty when Shorty did turn the I was gonna say turn the volume up, turn the that device up to max or whatever, and then eat the wafer cracker thing that she bribed him with. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that was super petty. But yeah, man, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, it's a really solid entry.
Yeah,
I did kind of wish I got 2 episodes that first week, but Disney now knows you only give 2 episodes to their new stuff.
yeah.
And anything that we know everyone's coming back to, we're just gonna drip feed once a week and hopefully I don't know. Do you know how many episodes are in a Mandalorian season?
Probably like
I couldn't
12,
remember. 12? I
probably
hope
12,
so.
something like that. I don't
Uh,
know.
I'm just definitely enjoying it, and yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited because whenever Mando's on the screen, it just reminds me it's just
so
so much
good.
better than Boba Fett, and
Bad
uh,
Batch.
I haven't seen Bad Batch yet,
Bad
so
Batch is actually pretty good now. I like it
that's
a
good.
lot more than I did the first what you call. But Chris, what you geeked about, man?
Ooh, man,
Left
I've been
field.
going through a lot of shows
Yeah.
on Apple Plus. I watched some Severance. I watched
Okay.
uh, what was it? I can't remember. I've watched a lot recently,
Yeah.
looking just for something. And man, this week we started Swarm on Amazon.
That's what's crazy. I ain't
That
finished
thing
yet
is
though.
so crazy. We're not done with it either. But I just sat there, kind of like with
Frame
my
one.
mouth open, like,
Frame one. That was
what?
crazy.
What is happening?
Mine on Donald Glover, bro.
I was just each episode. I just sit there and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be gaining knowledge from what I'm watching. I
Yeah.
really do not know.
Yeah.
And I'm just I think we're on episode 5 or 6 now,
Mhm.
but it's definitely a must see because I feel like everyone would react to it in some type of way. I
Yeah.
feel like you can literally make any statement about it and maybe it makes sense. But it's just one of those things that I imagine if I was in school and our teacher
Yeah.
assigned episodes and they just say, "You know what? Assign meaning to this," and you'd write a whole essay and the teacher'd be like, maybe. I could see that. But as I'm watching it, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm still chucking away, but I got this. I'm super geeked about finishing that series this
Mhm.
week. Um, I'm so glad I just clicked on it. But
Yeah.
what you geeked about, G?
So I got a couple things. First thing, the Attack on Titan special was good. It was really good. I loved it. I loved it. And it's got me super hyped for it when it finally actually comes back because I went through a lot in the part one of the final season because I didn't know it was gonna be a part one. I was just like, what is going on? But now I'm locked in with it and coming off of um Demon Slayer and being so disappointed and
Oh,
upset.
I haven't seen any.
Like it was. I was so mad. I'm never going to see another Demon Slayer movie again. You know, I started off with like I'm never going to see another anime movie, but nah, it's just Demon Slayer because I don't know why they did that. But the other thing I'm super geeked about is another anime, and that is Blue Lock. Blue Lock is going stupid. Like they literally, bro, and this is not like because all they did was reveal it, right? But this is something I had told you like when I first started the show, because it was like it started like when the World Cup was going on, and I was like, bro, if this show actually like puts like Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, like all these people in this universe, oh, it's gonna be the best sports anime of all time, and that's literally what's happening. Not by name, but you can tell like build country type thing, like that. This giant is gonna be. I can't wait for the next episode. I really be super geeked about that, and even My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia was good this weekend because that giant is really just be trying to make you cry, and it does a good
Really?
job. It does a good.
Really?
It does a good job, bro. They know how
Crazy.
to make you teary eyed, But other than that, I think that's about it. I didn't go see the Shazam movie this weekend. We're gonna do a whole episode on that when it comes out on streaming. But so far from what I'm seeing, people are liking it. But I didn't really want to go too deep into it just because I don't want to get spoiled or see too much. But yeah, man. Other than that, I think I don't. What else? Is something happening this week? John Wick coming out soon.
Yeah, I think John Wick maybe
Um,
it's next week though. Maybe.
yeah. I mean, I could show y'all some of the comics I got, but that's uh.
That Attack on Titan was good too.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That John was lit. That John
like,
was
it
lit.
was enough of a tease and long enough that I
Yeah.
didn't even mind. I was like, dang, I'm just glad it's back. I just wonder how they're gonna release the rest. I'm really wondering if they're just gonna do big packs after
Chunks.
big packs. Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
just don't know what's gonna happen. I don't
yeah,
want to
no,
know.
I don't want to know at
I
all. So
don't
I'm
want to
I'm just
know.
waiting to watch it because
Mm-hmm.
just have it back on the screen felt really good, and it's been out for a month or so. Maybe that it came out this month.
I thought it came out recently. I've just started hearing people talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
I just finally did that this weekend. So
yeah, I know. I don't know, because when it first came out, I feel like I heard about it and I just like kind of like went in the back of my mind. So it might be like a week or so.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
know. I could. They don't put dates on. I couldn't tell you, but that's gonna do it for us this week, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, rate the podcast 5 stars or leave a comment in the comment section. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you listen to this on your favorite audio platform, hit that follow button so you know when the next episode drops. But other than that, we'll catch y'all next week, man. Stay geek. Peace.